All right, all right, all right. Oh, why I sound like that? Can y'all hear me? If you can hear me, make some noise. What is going on with my voice? If you can hear me, make some noise. I don't know what that is. I'm echoing. Hold on, let me fix myself. Let me fix myself. Oh. Oh my goodness. All right. Hey, it's another Tuesday. Something is going on here. Hello? All right, I'm back. I don't know what that was. But it's another Tuesday. Put a pin in it. Conversations with Elisa. I am Elisa, and we're about to have some conversations that we need to talk about that has caught my eye this week. And of course, we're going to put a pin in some things that I've watched that I think that you should watch. Okay. One of them I didn't put in here, so maybe I'll talk about it next week. But we're going to go ahead and get started because the NBA playoffs are here. The NBA playoffs are here and they are really doing a good job. I've been angry at a lot of these games because I think the refs are really doing a poor job in calling these games. Okay. But hey, they always say if you have to depend on the refs to win the game, then that's your fault. All right. You have to make sure that you score enough points so that you don't have to, so that the refs cannot decide if you win or lose. I truly believe that, especially what's going on right now. So I have the whole East and the West Conference NBA playoffs up. Okay, so the only team that has made it to the semifinals are the 76ers. So let's give the 76ers a hand. They have made it to the semifinals. So they're just waiting for whoever wins between the Celtics and the Hawks. The Celtics and the Hawks, they played this week. Who else? The Bucks, everybody played, but I'm just saying the ones that stuck in my mind. The series that is really, I think, is going to go to 7 is the Sacramento Kings and Golden State Warriors. They're split at 2-2, but everybody else is 3-1. Go figure. Like, everybody else is 3-1. This is crazy. So you have, okay, the Timberwolves, they didn't get swept, but it's 3-1. The Nuggets lead 3-1. So they're going to be going home. I think they're going to be going home soon. Even though I like Edwards, I love him. He is a great player all the way around. But he just going to they're going to be out soon. Then you got the Miami Heat 3-1. Who would have thought that Giannis would be going home, right? So I think Giannis is hurt, and it looks like the Heat are going to be going to the semifinals. That's what it looks like, because it's hard to come back from 3-1. Then you got the Knicks. They are leading with the Cleveland. Then you got the Celtics. They're leading with Atlanta. And I think Atlanta is going home because I don't know if you were watching, but I can't say his name. Murray, his first name Juante. I don't know what kind of name that is. The Juante Murray, he did this. Watch this. So, watch this one more time. So there he is after the game. All right, so after their last game, Murray takes it upon himself to go where the ref was and to bump him and say some choice words to him. So now Murray, who is a very important part of the Hawks team, is suspended for the next game. So yeah, they're going home. It's inevitable. They're going home. And of course, I'm not going to be biased. The Lakers lead Memphis Grizzlies 3-1. Now, let me tell y'all something. Y'all know I do not like LeBron James, and I just don't. He is a great player. Don't get me wrong. He is a great player. I believe that LeBron James is an excellent basketball player. But in the same breath, I believe he is the most whiniest basketball player I don't even think y'all saw this man when they didn't call something on him last night. He threw a tantrum at the other end of the court. He kicked his legs like he was doggone 3 years old. LeBron he's a big guy. He's like a tree planted by the rivers of the water. And he acts like a kid when he do not get calls. I'm like, LeBron, just play. Just play. Nicole said, I don't really care for him either, but a Laker is a Laker and we ride it with them. So the Lakers, let me tell you about the Lakers story. I would be very biased if I wouldn't say that they have turned their basketball season around, because at first it was looking like they were not going to even make it to the playoffs. They had to go through the play-in, and now they're playing Memphis, and I think Memphis is really shooting themselves in the foot because they're a young team. And I just think that Ja Morant, he does too much, and it's just not looking good for them. So it looks like I'm gonna have to look at the Lakers once again for the semifinals. But after that, I think they're gonna be going home. I just really do. I don't think they're gonna make it after that. All right. So my next story, we're gonna talk about designer. Okay. I don't know if you guys know who designer is. He's the one that sings Jimmy 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 Turner, Jimmy 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 Turner. Yeah, he's the one that sang that. And I got bars in Atlanta. Both of the songs sound the same. But designer, if you don't know, most of the time when our artists go dead here, they usually go overseas and revive their careers overseas. So apparently, designer was overseas, and yeah, Panda. Designer, hello Kimmy. Apparently designer was overseas and he had a show, but he had to go to the hospital because something. First of all, things have been going on with designer for a minute. If you remember, he's went live a couple of times crying in despair because some of his rap buddies got killed all of a sudden. And he's like, oh my God, I'm just gonna quit this. This is crazy. This is people shouldn't be, so he was really going through with losing the lives of his rap buddies. Um, and a lot of people were trying to be shady and be like, okay, we thought you had stopped rapping a long time ago. But that's not the case. He has been rapping overseas. And so he went to the hospital. They gave him some medicine right before he got on the plane. All right. And when he got on the plane, I guess he was disoriented or something like that. And he started masturbating on the plane. Okay, he exposed himself in first class on the plane. And when you do something like that, they're going to meet you at the door once you land. And so they did. They met him, and but he told them that he wasn't himself and he's going to check himself into rehab. And he wrote this. He said, for the past few months, I have not been okay, and I have been struggling to come to terms with what is going on. While overseas for a concert I performed at, I had to be admitted into a hospital. I was not thinking clearly. They gave me meds, and I had to hop on a plane home. I am ashamed of my actions that happened on that plane. I landed back to the States and am admitting myself in a facility to help me. I will be canceling all of my shows and any obligations until further notice. Mental health is real, guys. Please pray for me. If you're not feeling like yourself, please get help. And so he posted this. All right. So I am glad that designer is going to go get help. And I'm glad that he spoke out about it. Okay. Medicine, if it's the wrong dosage or anything like that, it can make you do things that you would not normally do. And I'm so glad that he spoke out about it. I'm so glad that he was like, okay, something is wrong. I need to go get myself checked out. And I wish a lot of people, and that's what the title of this episode is: take care of yourself. Know when you're not yourself. And designer has not been himself for a while. So I am so glad that he is checking himself into a facility and he's getting help. And I'm glad that whatever charges that they were going to do, they're probably not going to do it because he is taking precautions on getting himself some help. All right. All right. So my next story is about Jamie Foxx. And I want to talk about this because Jamie Foxx was on the verge of not being with us anymore. An aneurysm is very serious. And then they said Jamie Foxx had a stroke and 8 days left to film a movie he was working on. Instead of waiting until he was well, they used a stunt double to finish the job. More of the story, take some days off to spend time with your family because your job is going to move on without you. This is like a double edged sword for me. I had to learn a long time ago. There were times when I just felt like I had to be at my job. I had to do this and I had to do that. Um, but the statement is true. The show will go on without you. So again, we putting a pin in it. Take care of yourself. That is the pin we are pinning this week is take care of yourself because you never know what is going. And I know these actors, they have a lot of stress. You have to learn all these lines. You had the ain't no telling what be going on behind the scenes and all of these things. And so I know a lot of people were saying, they were wrong for, not waiting for him to get out of the hospital. He's recovering. But business, they have deadlines. And that's one thing our our Caucasian counterparts, they don't wait for no one. Let me tell you something. I have seen. I let me say. I used to work for this person. And when I got there, they were telling, you know, I saw a situation unfold before my eyes where I was like, I would have never done that. But our Caucasian counterparts, business is business to them. They don't have any type of ties. They don't, it could be their mama, daddy, brother, sister. If they want to, if you're fired, you're fired. And then they smile about it in your face. And this is the example I want to tell you. This man said he worked at this place for 15 years and he thought he was getting ready for the next year, so he was doing his protocol, asking about budgets and all this kind of stuff. And they sent him an email and said, we are not allowed to give you this information. You need to contact the boss. And he was like, what you mean contact the boss? What you mean? This is my job. So he finally contacted the boss and she told him, hey, I didn't get around to it. I was gonna tell you, but yeah, we don't have the budget for you next year. We're letting you go. I know you 15 years. And this is similar to Don Lemon, right? Lemon, however you said. He was working at CNN for 17 years and he said he did not know that they were firing him. So we need to take care of ourselves. You need to work a job not knowing if you're going to have that job tomorrow. That happened to my mama. My mama worked 25 years at a nursing home. And because they changed over to another company, her years started over. Whew. She was so hurt. So her years started over and she could not reach. So her getting to her retirement, all of that started over. I thought that was so wrong. Yes, Kimmy, just dirty. Like I don't understand that. I couldn't get with that, and I felt so sorry for my mama when that happened to her, and I felt sorry for that guy. But he was like, you work for a person and you think that you're close to them, but in actuality, business is business. All right. Next story, I'm talking about Toni Braxton. This just came out that Toni Braxton underwent heart surgery for an artery that was 80% blocked. Do you hear what I just said? 80% blocked. All right. So they said Toni Braxton had to undergo surgery after a life-threatening scare. The singer reveals that she stopped being consistent with her recommended regular urine and blood tests. She said, okay, I got to talk like Tony. I kept putting it off, thinking, oh, I'm fine. I'll be okay. This is not funny, but I got to make y'all entertained. Talk like her. She talks really soft. Um, thinking, oh, I'm fine. I'll be okay. But my doctor was persistent. The singer said. Braxton says my left main mm, coronary artery was 80% I promise y'all I can read, but my eyes is crossing. Was 80% blocked. The doctors told me I could have had a massive heart attack and she would not have survived. The singer originally believed her physical heartache was caused by the loss of her sister. Remember their sister Tracy, she passed. I thought I was just sad because unfortunately my sister had just passed and I thought, wow, I'm really aching in my heart for my sister. And come to find out, of course, I was sad about my sister, but I also had underlying health issues. It was my body talking to me, telling me something's not quite right. Listen, take care of yourself. She has lupus and she has stopped doing her routine urine tests, urine and blood tests. And 80% of her coronary artery was blocked. Y'all, we got to take care of ourselves. And I have been walking around here telling myself I need to stop eating so much fried chicken. It ain't nothing. See, this is how the fast food restaurants get you. Because I would rather drive through the drive-through than get out of my car and go to Publix, grocery shop, get what I need to do, make it at home. When I could just drive through. Number two, sweet tea. But I gotta stop doing that. Y'all, we have got to stop putting things in our body that we know is going to cause us harm. We have to get our regular checkups. We have to do that. We as women, we have to get our pap smears. We have to get, if you're my age, you have to get your mammograms and all of those things because you have to take care of yourself. You got to. Like Kimmy said, you got to. You do not want to go into the hospital like one of my coworkers that I used to work with. She was my boss actually. She said she was so healthy. This really hurt me because she was so healthy. She was fitness like guru, all of those things. And she said she was taking a shower and her breast started leaking. So she went to the doctor and they had to give her emergency surgery right then. She was stage 4 breast cancer. And I'm like, maybe she couldn't feel it because she was so muscular. But you guys, every year, annual routine checkup, got to do it. I'm telling you. And I think sometimes when we feel like there's something wrong with us, we stay away from the doctor more. And I don't think that makes any sense. But I understand if you're afraid that you're going to get news that you don't want to hear, but it's best to get that news so that you can get treatment quicker. Because I know I had a classmate that said that she caught her own she felt her own lump and caught it in time. And she had the type that would spread immediately if she didn't get treatment. So we got to do that. Okay? All right. Now, the y'all, I watched this movie and I almost had to go to the ER. I'm not lying. I didn't know I miss Whitney Houston this much. I am a Whitney Houston fan, okay? I love Whitney Houston. I love everything about her. I'm one of the conspiracy people thinking that she was killed. I really don't think that she drowned in the tub. I think somebody killed her. I'm one of those people. I don't want to accept that's how she went out. Okay, I just don't want to accept it. So when I watched this movie, I had to look beyond that the girl really didn't look like Whitney. So I had to look beyond that because that kind of made me upset. I was like, can they pick somebody else that looks a little bit like her, a little bit more like her? Gosh, every time they do a biopsy about Whitney, the person never looks like her. But anyway, so I looked beyond that and I started to really put myself inside the movie. And when I did, I almost didn't come up out of that. I'm telling you, I cried when the movie first came on. I think that was her real voice, that because I know that girl didn't sound like that. So when it first came on, I think they was playing something original of Whitney, and my eyes teared up. I said, "Okay, Lisa, we can't do this now." And I don't know. I always had a heart for women that was single mothers that was on drugs. And so when I found out that Whitney Houston was a drug addict, and then her daughter, and how I just, my heart just went out to her. I was like, she got to get clean. She just really got to get clean. But by the end of this movie, when she went, I ain't gonna say what happened, but when she, her demise happened at the Beverly Hotel, it just was, I don't know. I just felt like Whitney she was crying out a lot of times, but she could not cry out a lot because she was taking care of so many people. She was taking care of a lot of people. And a lot of people was dependent on her. So I think it kind of drawed her back from really exposing, y'all, I really have a problem. And even I think if she did kind of expose it, they'll be like, okay, they'll sweep it under because you Whitney Houston. But let me tell you, one part that really made me cry was when Clive told her, she was like, I want to go on tour. And she sang or something like that. And he said, something like to the effect where, yeah, it was good, but it wasn't Whitney. That's how he put it to her. Like, no, we're not going to do this tour. And when he did that, I said, oh my God. And he was the one that tried to get her help. So the movie said, I don't know. But it's on Netflix, if you want to see it, you guys, that movie really touched me because I'm a Whitney Houston fan. But if you're not a Whitney Houston fan, you're probably gonna be like, this is dumb. This movie is, they done told us over and over and over again. But it was just something about this one that made me feel like I just couldn't shake it because I really liked her. All right. Okay. So last, because I'm ready to go see the game. But I want to share this space with you, Pinsters. I want to share this space. So lastly, y'all, my book is here. I got it in my hand. You see this? My book is here. My book is here. And I cannot tell you how happy I am. And it's good too. Let me tell you. I read this again. I said, okay, this is top tier. Okay. So May the 14th. Is it Audible? No, it's not. I'm thinking about it, but I can't even, every time I read my daddy's chapter, I cry. So I don't even know if I can do an Audible of this book. I could try or get somebody else to read it, but I think it would be better in my voice because I know the highs and lows of what happened. But I'll think about it. But the chapters, this is the inside. So the chapters are chapter 1, Robert, my daddy. Chapter 2, the divorce, me and if you know who my ex-husband is, it's about me and him. So it's a little tea-ish. Okay. but it is telling things that you should want to know about grief. Chapter 3 is about the abortion. Chapter 4 is about my mama. Chapter 5 is about my other marriage. And chapter 6, a rose of reflection. This is a great book. I must say so myself. So May the 14th, when it is released, I want you guys to purchase it. It will be something that you're probably going to read in one day. It's only 150 pages. And it is, but it's packed with a lot of things that I went through that will help you. Okay? So thank you for joining me here. I am about to go and watch the game. Oh, yes, that's my cousin right here. You guys, my cousin Sharon Jeanette. Don't we look alike? See her picture? See my face? See my picture? And I be telling people too. See, this is me, and this is me. I look the exact same. So some people don't look like they pictures, y'all. I'm telling you right now, they don't. But I'm gonna get you one, cousin. All right, so the link is gonna be dropped on May the 14th. The reason why I'm doing it on Mother's Day is because on Mother's Day last year I went to visit my father and my mother's grave, and this is the title that came to me when I was standing on their graves. Mm. And I say, you know what? I need to write about this pain that I'm feeling, because people, when you lose a parent and when you lose both parents, and then when you lose, when you get divorced and you do all of those things, um, those are grieving processes that, you need to look and see what somebody else went through. And this is through my eyes. Okay. I don't sugarcoat nothing. I don't sugarcoat anything. I think one part in there, it says, what do a black woman do when they want to find out something? They take their husband's phone. So I talk about what happened when I did that. It is good. I'm telling you, you are going to laugh, you're going to cry, and you're going to do all of those things, and then you're going to get healing all in one book. All right? So I am going to go. Thank you for joining me. I was a little late today because my daughter's birthday is tomorrow, and I was out running around trying to get stuff straight for her birthday. Going to celebrate her 16th birthday. Zoe is going to be 16. Jesus, 16 years old. Zaria is 18. So I am about to be an empty nester soon, and I am so thankful and so grateful. All right. So you guys have a great night, and I'll chat with you next week.